Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, Chicago's new mayor, Rahm Emanuel, will become the city's 46th mayor, succeeding Richard Daley, the city's longest-serving chief executive. When he takes office in May, he will inherit a fiscal crisis, underperforming schools, and a shrinking population, among other problems. He can now act on a host of campaign promises, including ideas to lure more business here and to create jobs. Crain's political columnist Greg Hines and I sat down to talk about the election and its impact on the business community. Turnout was lower than the officials expected. Still, Emanuel avoided a runoff here. He had broad support even in the African-American community. So what pushed his margin higher?
I think the same message basically worked in all communities. I'm going to be a strong guy who's not going to mess around. I'm not going to be controlled by the special interests. I'm going to get in and take care of the stuff you care about. And he was the only candidate who was in a position to go to every one of Chicago's key constituencies: African Americans, whites, Latinos, North Side, South Side, who could do that. And I think the results indicate that that was successful. He managed to get strong support everywhere, even on the southwest side, which is the one part of town where he lost.
So what's next? He's going to start forming his team. Any names come to light immediately?
There's some rumoring around that I'm still in the process of checking. I think the key question is there are, I believe, 14 aldermanic runoffs. Is he going to get involved or not? Whatever he wants to do next year, he's going to have to make this year. He's going to have to make some very difficult decisions. Are we going to lay off? Are we going to raise taxes? What are we going to do with pensions? That's going to require allies in the city council, but it's real clear that he and the number one alderman in the city council, Ed Burke, the chairman of the finance committee, don't get along. So all the buzz today is he going to make a move on Burke, and if so, will it be successful?
How will he begin right off the bat to implement this $500 million in savings that he's identified? Will he be able to do it, and what will be the first order of business for him?
Well, money is clearly the first order of business, not only up here, but in Springfield, which is in position to give him some help, like on pensions. How he's going to do it is the real question. He laid out in kind of broad, general terms, I'm going to revamp garbage collection and have them compete with private. Well, it's going to take a while to set up. I'm going to do something about pensions. That's going to take a while to do. I'm going to slash and burn the bureaucracy and make it more efficient and whatever. Well, that's going to take a while to do. The one specific promise he made is that within the first 60 days, he would identify $75 million in spending that we, the people, could live without.
And do you think that's attainable?
He said it. I don't think he wants to establish a reputation of not being a man of his word, so I would expect one way or another they're going to come up with something that adds up to $75 million.
Emanuel ran a disciplined campaign. Are we going to see more of that discipline in an Emanuel administration, or will we likely see more of the man that a lot of people joked about during the campaign?
You suggest those are different. I think those are the same thing. This is as tightly controlled of a man as you ever see in politics. And the question is whether he can keep it together that way. He'd like to have it all on message and orchestrated and whatever and have the trains run on that line, but it's very difficult to do that. And you don't want to overdo it, because if you become too disciplined and too self-reliant, you don't hear outside voices that you should hear.
All right. Well, Greg, I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more about this. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
And that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. You can read more about the election on chicagobusiness.com with all of the breaking news and Greg Hines' blog. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.